Hey everyone, welcome. We're going to get started here. It looks like about 4 minutes. Good to see you, Bev. Welcome. I know that I saw that you've been looking forward to more virtual tours. Hello, Catherine. I'm just bringing up on my other phone. Hello, Cheryl. Welcome. We'll get started here in just about 3 minutes. If you wanted to, you can chime in. If you've ever been to the Lincoln Park Zoo, if you have any favorite memories here, if you have any favorite animals. I did a quick scout through beforehand to see which ones were active and out and about. Perfect. I was a little nervous before this because the lions weren't out and about. I'm like, no. But I can look right now and I can see that some of them are waking up right now. So this is perfect timing. I was nervous for a while, especially when I have this called the Lincoln Park Zoo Lions. Oh, they're coming down right now. This is perfect. You know what? I'll just give this as background since they're just waking up right now. Oh, this is perfect. So I'm just going to turn this around right now. This is sort of like an appetizer to the actual lions. Let me see if I can turn this around. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to hold off on presenting my lion content until we get to the actual tour. But I'm so glad that they just woke up because I had been scouting out before this and they weren't out and about. So this is perfect timing for us. It's like those are the lionesses. Oh, I'm so glad that they woke up. So that the one that's closest to us, I think that's Pili Pili. He's the cub born last year. And that's either his mom or auntie there. So I promised to formally present my content with the lions very soon. I'm just going to step away right now because it looks like we're at that time for starting the tour. So let me step away here. So hi everyone, welcome. Welcome to Tours with Mike. I'm Mike. Thank you so much for joining me on this Lincoln Park Zoo tour. If you just saw a moment ago, the lions had just woken up and they just got out and about. So yay! I was nervous for a while because when I scouted through here right before the tour, there were no lions to be seen. They're all sleeping. So I'm very thankful that they just woke up for us. So hopefully they'll have energy. They'll be playful. They'll be fun. So this should work out great for us. So local time, it is 11 a.m. Central Time. It is 71 degrees Fahrenheit, which equates to, I forgot to look this up, Celsius. I should know this by now. I've done so many tours. It is 22 degrees Celsius. So it's a beautiful Chicago day. So this is it's a great time to be able to check out the zoo. We got lots and lots of people already, and the zoo's only been open for an hour so far today. As we go along through this experience, please chime in with your questions and comments, and I will do my best to answer them as they come about. There's a possibility I may miss some questions as they come through, It'd be helpful for me if you, if I turn it over and say, hey, anyone have any questions? If you're able to copy and paste and add that back into the feed, because I'm not going to reasonably be able to scroll through it during the tour to answer questions. And then at the end of this hour-long tour, I'll stick around as long as you would like to answer whatever open questions you all may have. Like all of my live stream tours, there's no charge for it. It's all based on your tips, your generosity. So I've got a link that I can share with you all right now. If there's lots of tipping options. There we go. It should be showing up in your feed. So anytime if you want to tip, you can do so right there. It also has additional information in case if you'd like to write a review, see what other virtual tours I have coming up, or anything else. So right now we are in the heart of Lincoln Park. Let me turn the camera around to give you a sense of this. So you can see some skyscrapers on the distance. So that's part of the Lincoln Park neighborhood. And then we're in the park space between that and Lake Michigan. So now we're facing north. Lake Michigan is out here to the east. And the overall park surrounding us is also known as Lincoln Park. So you got Lincoln Park, the neighborhood, Lincoln Park, the park, and then we're in the midst of the Lincoln Park Zoo in the middle of it all. So the Lincoln Park Zoo is it's a really special place within Chicago. So it's a 49-acre zoo founded in 1868. Actually, let's stroll over here for a moment, and I'll just show you a map of what it looks like. So here's a map of what the zoo is like. I'll point out where we are. So we're right here. You can see that sign right there. So we're on sort of like the main mall right there. And then we got the north section, but we're going to be spending most of the time on the south section on today's tour. So it's a 49-acre zoo founded in 1868, and it's the third oldest of its kind in the United States. The Philadelphia Zoo and the Central Park Zoo are older, but the Lincoln Park Zoo here is the only one that has remained free during the day to all of its patrons since its founding. They house around 1,100 animals from around 200 species, and we're going to see a bunch of them out and about. So I've already seen that there's going to, when I scouted out beforehand, we just saw a moment ago, the lions were playing around. We're going to see lots of gorillas, chimpanzees, lots of other monkeys. We've got seals, and there's also a red kangaroo that was hopping about. It's rare that I see the kangaroo going around, so hopefully that one's still here. So this is one of the several opportunities we're going to have to check out the lions. The lions they're at the heart of the Lincoln Park Zoo. They've always been the middle of it. There's nothing to see there right now. We've got several opportunities to be able to catch the lions out and about. Let me see. Oh, here comes one coming down the stairs right now. Perfect timing. Let me stroll back here. This is great. All right. Let's zoom in a bit. Oh, and there she goes. Okay. So we'll give it another shot. Just a little bit. So she was one of the. We got two more that are coming down the walkway. Perfect. Here, let's zoom in there. All right. So one of the things that the Lincoln Park Zoo tries to do with all of its habitats is they want to be able to have spaces where if the animals want some privacy, then they have spaces where they can duck away, get out of the view of the public. So they're very mindful of it. This part of the lion area that we're in right now, it's called the Pepper Family Wildlife Center, and it went through a huge remodeling. And actually, let's keep on moving. It went through a huge remodeling that was completed in 2021. And they really expanded this habitat to provide these private spaces that they could really experience and get away if they need to. They added a lot of terrain. There's heating and cooling elements within it. So regardless of what the temperature's like in Chicago, then the lions are well adapted to it. Yeah, you're right. That was a little catwalk. They have a lot of large outdoor spaces, and it's just worked really well. And there's evidence that the lions really like it because within a few months after this habitat had completed its renovation in 2021, they gave the lion Azari. She gave birth to Pile Pile. So Pile Pile was the first lion born at the Lincoln Park Zoo in about 28 years. I don't see the lions around here, so we're going to check back in on them and again later. And then 3 lion cubs were just born earlier this year. So 4 lion cubs born in the last, just in the last year and a half. It's pretty wild. So we've got more opportunities to check on the lions to be able to track them down. Let's stop over here because I really like this building. So this right here is the Landmark Cafe. It opened in 1889, initially as the Red Roof Cafe, which, I mean, you can get a sense of why it was called that. And it served refreshments to zoo visitors. Today it's known as the Edie Levy's Landmark Cafe, and it's probably the oldest zoo concession stand in the entire country. So it's a really beautiful design. I'm glad that they had it preserved. They've got great stained glass in here. Let's get a little bit closer so you can see those details. We got the seagulls flying by quite a bit. All right, we're gonna head just right over here. Let's see if I can squeeze through. All right, let me see if I can find the macaques. See, I don't see any from this window. Let me go to the other windows down here to see if I can spot any. Yeah, I didn't see many playing around earlier when I scouted things out. They're little and there's some... Oh, here we go. Let's zoom in there. So you can see a couple of them up on the trees there. One of them's hiding in the nook, and then the other one's out in the branch. So those are Japanese macaques, and they're also known as snow monkeys. And they are, due to their thick coats insulating them from cold winters, they are they live further north than any other non-human primate on Earth, and it's because of those winter coats that really help them out a lot. Oh, here we go. We got one coming up close. Here, let me try to zoom. Oh, let's try to get over here because it looks like they're cleaning. There we go. So the habitat that we're in, this was renovated and it opened to the public in 2015, and it has this hillside area here, enclosure. These rocks are heated during winter time, and then you've got this hot spring that you have behind it. Oh, this is perfect that they're doing this right in front of us. This is the zoo's 3rd exhibit to house primates. We'll see the other 2 of them very soon. Primates have always been front and center at the Lincoln Park Zoo, and they really specialize in a lot of the research and really trying to advance the knowledge on primate activity. Researchers at Lincoln Park Zoo's Lester E. Fesher Center of the Study of Conservation of Apes, they continue learning more about Japanese macaques in order to promote their welfare and understand their cognitive abilities. And something that's really cool is that they do this. Let's see if this is so funny. They do this a lot by conducting touchscreen research. So they give them, it's kind of like iPads, and it tests their cognitive abilities and problem-solving skills. I haven't seen them do this with the macaques, but I have seen them do this with the chimpanzees before. So it's really cool, but yeah, just take a look at this habitat. Oh, there's another one that's up in the tree. If you're able to see, I'll point out, like up in the nook right there. And there's another 2 in the background, and then we got the other 2 in the foreground here. And I saw another couple that were running around here a little bit. Yeah, the dots on the windows, they're not ventilation holes. They're there so that the animals can see the windows. So it's the animals both in the enclosure So it could be the monkeys in this instance, but it's also for birds flying by, so that they're able to see that there's actual glass here. So that's the reason why you have the dots there, so no animals they collide with the glass. So you're going to see a lot of these markings on the glass as we continue through the zoo. What a lifestyle there, just to be lying down on a rock while someone's just like cleaning you. Oh, all done. Oh, they're taking turns. Yep, very cool. All right, let's head back down to this main strip here. I love watching the primates, and there are a lot of them at the zoo. We're going to head back through this area that we passed through on the way here. Anytime that you all have any questions, please let me know. Yeah, they were definitely looking for the. They were definitely looking for bugs. Oh yeah, they probably had the same energy, same vibes as the Bali forest. These are just more, the monkeys that we just saw, they're more accustomed to colder climates than the ones that you'd find in Bali. Yeah, it's a beautiful day at the zoo today. Let's see if we can see any seals. All right, I saw seals going around here earlier. Let's see if I can spot any. I'm going to try going around the other side and see if we can get a view of them over there. Robin, I have not been to the Bronx Zoo. I have been to the Central Park Zoo. It seems like zoos tend to develop different types of specialties, different types of focuses, and apes, gorillas, and lions have always been at the center of what the Lincoln Park Zoo here tends to focus on. Let's see. I don't see any of the seals coming around here, but you at least get this beautiful shot. So pretty. Let's see. I'm looking down in the water. Oh, here's one. There we go. Okay, so there's two types of seals that we have in here. We have that one was a gray seal. Oh, here we go. Here's another couple over here. We have gray seals and we have harbor seals. So that was, that's a gray seal that's going above water right over there. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer. Looks like that one's putting on a show. Oh, there's also another. Oh, there's three of them over here. This is great. So the gray seal, that's the one that's on the left there. So the gray seals, they use their sensitive whiskers when they hunt to detect hydrodynamic currents that are generated by schools of fish. And they use their powerful web flippers with strong claws to dive to depths nearly 1,000 feet to catch them. Adult gray seals have 2 layers of thick fur. Here's one that's going by us right now. They have 2 layers of thick fur and thick blubber to keep them warm when they're in very cold water. So we've got the gray seals, and then we also have harbor seals. Harbor seals are found in more places than any other type of seal or sea lion anywhere on the planet. They annually return to the same breeding grounds and where males compete for the female's attention. Adults can remain underwater. Wow, that's a big one. They can remain underwater for up to 30 minutes, allowing them to chase around a large array of fish, squid, and crustaceans. So these are all seals. We don't have sea lions at the Lincoln Park Zoo anymore. We used to. Oh, here's a great shot. We used to have sea lions here. If you're wondering what the difference is between seals and sea lions, let me move around to the other side. Seals, they have short front flippers and no external ears, where sea lions, they have external ears that stick out. They have very long front flippers, and the sea lions also bark. So when the first sea lions that we got at the Lincoln Park Zoo were in 1889, they received a group of 19 sea lions. And the residents along Lincoln Park, you can see some of the residences out there. They were complaining because the sea lions were barking all night, and they were so loud. So they really complained about it. In the 1890s, 2 of the sea lions actually escaped from the habitat here and made their way over by those buildings, and they made their way to a restaurant on Clark Street. All right. I'm glad that we were able to see some of the seals on the other side. I was a little nervous because usually there's a lot of them in here, and they're pretty reliable to be able to see. All right, let's move along to the next stop. I'm going to check back over at the lion habitat from the outside, see if there's any there. If not, then we're going to head directly on the inside, which usually provides really great views of the lions. Let's see if we see any out here. Oh, I don't see any out here, so we're going to work our way inside. So this again is called the Pepper Family Wildlife Center. It was originally completed in 1912, and it was designed by Perkins, Fellow, and Hamilton. I want to get a good shot because I love this arched entrance that we have for the Wildlife Center. So it's done in a beautiful arts and crafts style. Let me see if I can get in a spot that doesn't have such saturated sunlight coming in so you're able to see it a little bit better. Here we go. Oh, take a look at this beautiful tile work that we have. It's done in the arts and crafts style. So the arts and crafts style is known for really that mastery of what can be done with a human hand, with those artisans. And so you can see that the tile work and the brickwork is just gorgeous. The arts and crafts style was sort of a rejection of the rapid industrialization of the Western world to show that, hey, there's still a place for humans, and humans can make things better than machines. So we're going to head in there in just a moment. Before we do, I just want to show, this is my favorite drinking fountain that we have here. It's so cute. So you have the whole pride of lions, you have the alpha, and you have the lioness, and then you have 3 of the cubs here. All right, done with the drinking fountain. Let's head on in and try to see if we can get it. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be able to see lions because I see crowds up there. Oh, actually, they're not up there. Well, actually, before I go further, I have to talk about the architecture because this is just gorgeous. All right, so again, this opened in 1912, and when it did, the Chicago Tribune called it, quote, the handsomest house devoted exclusively to members of the lion family in this country. The ceiling that we have above us, it's a Gustavino vaulted ceiling. Rafael Gustavino was a Spanish architect, and he was known for applying, let's get a look up in the corner so I think you'll get a better perspective of it here. So this is so pretty. Rafael Gustavino was a Spanish architect known for applying layers of terracotta tile in a herringbone pattern and setting them in a Portland cement vaulted arch. He originated this system in the late 1800s, and then he received a patent for this process in 1885. So it's just a really gorgeous archway and house that they have here. So this was part of that restoration that they kept when this was done in 2021, and it was everything over here that was completely overhauled to accommodate the lions. So let's head down this walkway here and see if we can spot any of the lions out and about. Let's see. I'm looking all around to see if we can spot any. When I was here just a few weeks ago, the entire pride of lions were out here. So you had the alpha Zari. That's the one he's been having the kids with. 2 of Zari's sisters, and then the 4 cubs. And one of them is a year old, and then 3 of them were born just this year. Man, at least we got to see him at the beginning. Let's see. Yeah, that's it's one of the challenges with being able to time it to be able to see to catch the lions, because they have so many spaces where they can be alone if they want to, which is totally respectful of the lions. It's just a little tricky to time that with tours. But yeah, that's the ramp that we saw them coming down at the very beginning of the tour. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see any of the lions out and about. Yeah, the cubs are so adorable. If you didn't see it, I posted into the Live Virtually Facebook group today a video when I was standing like right here, and this is where I saw the full pride of lions playing around. So if you want to be able to check out that video, you can find it. I posted it through my business account, Tours with Mike, onto the Live Virtually Facebook account, and you can see them all together playing about. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to see any more of the lions. I'm glad that we at least saw them at the very beginning, though. Bummer. So, but there's no problem. We will definitely be seeing a lot more animals. And we're not seeing as much from the lions, I'm going to throw in some bonuses that I normally don't include on the tours. All right, I'm just doing one last glance over there to see if there's any lions coming back out. Yeah, I think that's it. At least we got to catch the lions at the very beginning. It looks like they are resting in privacy right now. Okay, so we're gonna be seeing a bunch of primates. But before I do that, I'm going to throw in a bonus that I've never featured on any of my tours. Since the lions are hiding away, I'm going to include a really cool sculpture. So you can probably see where we're heading. It's at the very end here. Yeah, it's good that they've been very mindful of creating this habitat, and it just shows that the lions really have they've really grown to adapt to it, and they really enjoy it because they're giving, for the last 2 years, Zari's given birth. So 4 new lion cubs in the last year and a half. All right. So this sculpture that we have in front of us, I've never featured it on a tour before, but since we don't have the lions about, I can throw this in as a bonus. This is a memorial to Eugene Field. He was a journalist for the Chicago Daily News. He was also sort of like seen as a children's poet laureate. And so after he passed away in the 1920s, this sculpture was put up in memory to him. So what we have up here, we have Lady Dream. So this is, and you can see that she is sort of like hovering over with her sort of, I guess that's a bouquet above these 2 sleeping children. So she's there to give them a wonderful dream. So if you're not familiar with Eugene Field, he's 2 of his more famous poems. We can see a couple stanzas from them. So probably his most famous one here is Winkin', Blinkin' and Nod. So you can see here's a verse from that children's poem. And then on the other side, he also had another famous poem called The Sugar Plum Tree. But you can see that the whole idea that we have with these is just like focusing on these, it says memorial for this poet that really catered to these really magical stories focused on children. And yeah, it's just a really beautiful sculpture. So this is a little bonus. Since the lions were hiding about, I had extra time to be able to include this one. Let's head back over here, and we're going to start talking about primates. So this wasn't always, excuse me, the primate house. This was originally the small animal house. Yeah, we can't see it. When the ivy's not full, you can see that it says small animal house on there. Oh, Little Boy Blue. Yeah, it's a great one, Robin. So this was converted from the small animal house to the Helen Brock Primate House in 1992. And we can take a look at this door that was added to commemorate this conversion. There we go. That's a good shot. All right, let's take a look inside. I already scouted out to see which primates were the most active, so I can focus on those that seem to be doing the most right now. Let's see. Let's head down to the next one. All right. Here we go. So right here in everyone that we have here is, here we have a good view of this one in the distance there. Let's go around here. Might be able to get them together in a shot. Nope. So these are DeBrazza's monkeys. Let me zoom in on this. So these are called DeBrazza's monkeys, and they're named after an Italian-born French explorer by the name of Pierre Savorgnan de Brazza. DeBrazza's monkeys are one of the most widespread African forest monkeys. They face potential threats of habitat loss and illegal pet trade. So even though there's a lot of them, there still are risks for them. DeBrazza's monkeys are notable for their distinctive white facial hair, which kind of resembles a beard. Here we got one that's turning toward us. There we go. That definitely looks like a beard. All right, let me zoom back out. There we go. Next, we've got southern black howler monkeys and Kalimikos. So this, let's see if I can get this little one here. So this is the Kalimiko. This one is also, this is from the western portions of the Amazon rainforest in South America. Here you can see two of them. They are vulnerable for conservation efforts because of the demolition of the rainforest. They're known to eat fungus that they turn to during the dry season when other food sources become a little scarce. So this one is the Kalimiko, and let me see if I can get over here. They're not going to be very active about. I have to zoom in order to zoom out with Facebook Live. So these two that you see up here, they're taking a nap. Those are the southern black howler monkeys. Yeah, that's all we can see is them cuddling. They're the only primates that vary in color from male to female, and that's a trait called sexual dimorphism. So the one on the right, the one that's in black, that is definitely the male. So that they're in black and white, and then the females, they're more of a blonde color. So that's the one on the left. All right, looks like they're just going to be napping. Let's move on to the next space. Yeah, the white-cheeked gibbons weren't out and about earlier today. They must be napping also. But we should be able to see, yep, there's always a lot of activity in here. So let's try to get a shot here. So there's two different types of monkeys here. So the ones that are up in the tree with those white bushy tails, that is the black and white colobus monkey. The, where is that? Here. Trying to get a good shot here. So the black and white colobus monkeys are very arboreal, which means that they prefer living up in tree canopies. So that's why they've created this habitat for that really resembles that upper area that they like to live in. They have these perches that are added so that they can basically just sleep off of the ground the entire time. And then the one that's on the ground here, this is known as an Allen swamp monkey. They're native to swampy forests and creeks in Central Africa, and there's little risk of extinction for them. They communicate through gestures and calls, with males emitting deep, throaty croaks, while the younger individuals produce a chirping sound, often indicating alarm. Coming up really close now. Playing for the camera. This is a good shot where you got the two different types of monkeys between the foreground and the background. Such a great shot.
Don't do that, Oliver.
So the one that was in the foreground here, the close one, they have webbed fingers and toes that allow them to swim really well. And they'll often dive in water to elude predators such as eagles and snakes. Yeah, that one was definitely playing for the camera. Yeah, I think of all the ones that are in this the small primate house, this one is always my favorite of the spaces. They always tend to be quite active. We have another one of the swamp monkeys here. So fun. All right, we're going to head outside. So we've still got lots of primates to see. And we're going to the big ones now. So like with the lion habitat, this offers a variety of spaces that are both indoors and outdoors. There was a large gorilla that was out here in the middle when I was here right before the tour started. They all might have moved inside. Let's move around and see if I can spot them. Anyone have any questions that I've missed so far? It's tough for me to keep up with the feed using Facebook Live. I'm not able to see the comments scroll by so fast. It's tough for me to see them as they come through. So if there's anything that I missed, any questions, please let me know. Let's head over here and see if there's any. Don't see any over here. They're probably all indoors now. Let's see, another chance for me to see the gorillas out here. Nope, I don't see any outside. We're going to head inside. We'll definitely be seeing lots of gorillas. And here's another gorilla habitat. I'll explain in a moment why we have two separate ones in a moment. I don't see any outside over here. All right, so we're heading inside the Regenstein Center for African Apes. So we're going to see gorillas and chimpanzees. One over there. Let's see. I'm just looking to see, trying to see which ones we have to work with. There's one over there and one over here. Let's see if I can get over to this side. So we got one that's napping over here off to the side. Let's try to get a little, but maybe by that window we'll get a better view. There's not much of an aquarium here. There used to be in the middle of it. It was actually the first aquarium that we had in Chicago. But the Lincoln Park Zoo doesn't really focus on that because the Shedd Aquarium is really the definitive aquarium that we have, and they're just that's what they're really known for. So this is one of the western lowland gorillas. So we got one napping right here. Got a great shot up close for this guy. So they're the western lowland gorillas. They're the largest living primates. They can grow up to 6 feet tall and over 400 pounds. So this one is just like a beast here. So gorillas form a tight-knit family group, which is also known as a troop, and it's made up of a single dominant male silverback and then multiple females and their young. So the ones who aren't the dominant males of the troop, this is their habitat. So this is the bachelor pad, basically. So all the adult male gorillas that aren't the alpha, the silverback, they move over here. So that's why they're separated from the rest of the gorillas, because of the way that they structure their troops. They're very gentle and sensitive and intelligent herbivores. So like the most famous gesture is that they're known for is when they stand on their back with their two legs and they beat their chest with open hands. But they do it with open hands, not with clenched fists. So usually when you see like gorillas on TV, they have like clenched fists that they're beating their chest. But when they do it in reality, they have open hands beating against their chest. Look at this foot. So you can really tell that it's a prehensile foot that they're able to use with as much dexterity as their hands. So big. These are just like monsters. Wow. Let's move over to the other side. Let's see what we've got over here. Yeah, so here we've got some of the other gorillas. And again, these are all of the bachelors. Here we go. This is a nice framing with the bamboo that you have on both sides. Let me zoom in on them a little bit more in case if you're grabbing a screenshot. There we go. All right, so let's zoom out. And we got, here is the other bachelor that's visible right now in the foreground.
What he's doing?
They are so big. Let's try to get a shot with both of them. Yeah, and so with the habitat that they have here, they can choose to spend it inside here, or they could spend it outside freely. That was that space that we first walked by. So they have a choice. They can choose to be indoors or outdoors. It's all up to them. And there also are spaces where they can retreat if they want to have some more privacy. All right, let's head over to the other western lowland gorillas. And this is going to be the actual troop. Let's see. It's pretty crowded here right now, so let's see if I can get in there. All right. So here you can see. This is where you have you have the silverback, and the silverback is there off to the side. Oh, you can see one of the kids playing with the ball. So you have the silverback, you have the children, and then you also have the female. Playing with that paper bag. And then the ball up above. Oh, trying to balance the ball in the mouth. That's so cool.
I wonder what they have, some sweet coconut water.
Yeah, I've never seen them be so playful with the balls here before. This is great.
There's something in the balls.
Oh, is there's some type of food in the balls?
Liquid in the ball.
Okay.
Yeah, they're sucking it out. See?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it looks like they filled the balls with something for them to drink. So that's what's encouraging to play with those. Oh, there we go.
Look at her up there. She's eating away.
So the one of the, so what? Oh, they're climbing up there right now. So the in addition to one of the big things that the Lincoln Park Zoo focuses on is research, and they have the Lester E. Fisher Center for the Study and Conservation of Apes. That's a component of the Lincoln Park Zoo here, and they're seen as sort of the zoo is a global leader in the research of great apes and for trying to help with their conservation and research. In 2006, the Lincoln Park Zoo teamed up with the Goalago Triangle Ape Project to study wild chimpanzees and gorillas in untouched regions in the Republic of the Congo. So playful today. Yeah, but we got the silverback just chilling here right now. Oh, starting to move around. Oh, very cool. I haven't been to the University of North Carolina's Great Primate exhibit. Got the other one climbing up there. Looks like they've got a bunch of lettuce or some type of leafy green that they just brought up there. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. Okay, so there's one last enclosure that we have here that's associated with the zoo. Hello. With the large primates, and these are the chimpanzees. Let's see. Are there any in here right now? Yeah, there's one hanging out up there. You can see the hand and foot peeking up. Looks like it's playing with something. Let's see if we can get a better view. They're probably outside, so let's head outside because there's a lot more chimpanzees that are in this habitat. Yeah, I'm also a big fan of the chimpanzees. Oh, here we go. We got one that just ducked behind a tree over there. All right, so we can see a couple of them. Let's see. Man, they keep on going further and further away. Let's see if I can move around and get a better view of them. All right, so we got some that are hiding back there. Let's try to zoom in on them. So we got two that are hiding in the shade over there. So chimpanzees are actually more closely related to humans than they are to the gorillas that we just saw. Unlike gorillas, chimpanzees typically live in troops with multiple adult males and females. Males establish a hierarchy that influences breeding, but mating is fluid between a variety of partners. In the wild, chimpanzees, they use tools to gather their food. And they'll do things like take sticks and they'll stick them into the ground and fish out ants that are down below, and then they'll bring them up and then they'll eat the ants off of them. So they're very smart. They're to be able to figure out how to use tools in their with their life and how they eat. So they're incredibly smart creatures. These are the ones that I've seen that are tested for those where they use like the iPad screens to test their memory and their problem-solving skills. It's pretty amazing to see them, how they interact with it. They're really smart, pretty dynamic creatures. Oh, looks like they're gonna just stay further away from us. Oh well. Let me zoom back out. All right. So we are wrapped up with primates. I've got a lot more still to show though. So as we're walking to our next stop, please let me know if there are any questions that I missed for you all. I'll give a little bit of background on the zoo itself. So the Lincoln Park Zoo was one of the first zoos to decommercialize the transfer of animals. They were concerned that by putting dollar signs attached to the animals, that would really affect animal conservation efforts. So the Lincoln Park Zoo, in the mid 20th century, they were one of the first to stop the commercialization of animals. So they don't acquire animals through purchases. There's an organization called the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, and it's a nonprofit organization dedicated to the advancement of zoos and aquariums in the areas of conservation, education, science, and recreation. The AZA has a certification plan for institutions that embody those principles, and the Lincoln Park Zoo became one of the first accredited zoos in the country in 1975. In 1981, the Species Survival Plan, which is also known as an SSP, that program began helping zoos protect endangered animals. Here we got a zebra. I'll talk about the zebra in just a second after I wrap up the SSPs. So the SSPs create breeding and transfer plans. Oh, here we go. They create breeding and transfer plans across more than 600 AZA accredited institutions. The breeding plans are informed by science from the Population Management Center housed at the Lincoln Park Zoo. Today, more than 98% of the animals currently in the Lincoln Park Zoo are zoo-born. The very few that aren't zoo-born, they're through different groupings. Like there are some bald eagles that are here. The bald eagles are they're on loan to the Lincoln Park Zoo from the federal government. The zoo founded its Conservation and Science Department in 1989. Since then, it has grown from one scientist to more than 40, becoming one of the largest zoo-based science programs in North America. The science team has supported more than 500 zoo species with science-related management recommendations. They've studied more than 250 wildlife species from Chicago to the Republic of Congo. They've trained more than 450 undergraduate interns, graduate students, and postdoctoral fellows. And they published more than 275 scientific articles and papers. So, yeah, I mean, research has just been like a huge thing here. And it's really impressive how the Lincoln Park Zoo has just been a global leader on that effort. So back to the zebra in front of us. Grevy zebras are the physically largest zebra species, with adults standing up to 5 feet tall, and they can weigh up to 900 pounds. The zebra stripes act as a kind of camouflage, so that it makes it more difficult for predators to spot them when they're in the grasses and the twigs in their natural habitat. They predominantly eat a diet of grasses, and they've adapted to dry environments, which you can see that's their habitat that they have around us. Let's move into the next section. Yeah, the species survival plans are pretty cool because, like, for example, like the lions that you have here, the Lincoln Park Zoo is able to accumulate their science and research and knowledge based on the lions here, but they're sharing with other AZA accredited institutions. So they're pooling together all of their knowledge, all their research, and when they need to like swap out animals, they can do that so that the so that if you have like one place has an excess of animals and the other one is willing to take them on, you're able to do that sharing program. So it's really incredible that we have that. That's sort of like the premier way of doing of how accredited zoos manage. We're going to be out there in just a little bit. Sorry. Just 1 second. The zooming in and out is sometimes a little tricky here. So we'll be out there at the very, very end of the tour. We're going to get an amazing shot, so that's a little bit of a preview for that. Let's see.
A three-humped camel.
Oh, yeah, we got a camel out there in the distance. We can zoom. There we go. That's a pretty good shot. So there are two types of camels. We have Bactrian camels and dromedaries. What we have here, this is a Bactrian camel. Bactrian camels, they're good at adaptations where they can. They're good at both hot environments and cold environments. So you can see that the one in front of us, that the thick fur, that they're shedding that off right now because we're getting into the warmer periods of Chicago. So, but normally during the winter time, they'll have all this thick fur that's helping them through these cold winter times. Let me zoom back out. All right, let's move into the next spot. Now this is where I saw a red kangaroo hopping about earlier. Oh, I see it lounging in the distance. I see two of them lounging. All right, so we've got two of them here. Let's zoom in on them. So you can see one of them there. Not really a good view. And then we've got another red kangaroo here. So like what I was talking about with the lions, when talking about with the gorillas, the kangaroos arrange themselves not in prides, not in troops, but they call them mobs. But you typically have one alpha male, which is called a boomer, and then you have the adult females, which are called blue flyers, and then you have all the juveniles, which are called joeys. Well, not really hopping around anymore. It's more active when I was here right before the tour. Let's zoom back out. Let's see. Don't see the Szechuan takin around here. Probably hiding away and napping. Let's see. Nope, I don't see any more of the takins here. Let's go to the next habitat. All right, let me hold up the camera. Let me zoom in first. But to try to look over the fence, it's really tough for me to coordinate this. Where are you? Oh, there you are. There we go. So there we have an ostrich. And when I zoom in so close, it's tough to keep this stabilized. Yeah, ostriches, very little risk of endangerment for the ostrich. Largest bird that you've got in the world. Land-based. Oh, it looks like they've got one of the zookeepers going through right now. Let me try to zoom in a little out since they got closer. Here we go. That's a little bit easier to maintain. Oh, I love it when they fluff out their wings like that. Yeah, I totally agree, Robin. Man, that's so cool. They can weigh up to 200 pounds and reach heights of about 9 feet. All right, let's move on to the next habitat. Mark, that's a good question. I don't know the differences between ostriches and emus. I think that there's a difference. I just don't know what that is. Let's see if I can get a good view here. Okay, let's zoom in on this one. So this one looks kind of like a deer. This is called a Père David's deer. It's named after a French missionary and naturalist by the name of Père Armand David. He wrote a lot about the species. Now, its historical Chinese name is called Milu. The deer were nearly hunted to extinction centuries ago, but a small herd survived on the Emperor of China's private hunting grounds. A few were given to European zoos in the mid-1800s, and every Père David's deer alive today descended from the European population. No Père David's deer exist in the wild today. So it's pretty amazing to see how this animal from China was hunted to extinction, and it's only through that small grouping from Europe that we have this one that's here in front of us today. There's a few others that are in here, but I think there's at least 3 of them that the zoo has, but I only see one of them out and about. I want to give a good view of the lagoon. I love this shot. So this Swain Nelson and Olaf Benson were the landscape architects who designed Lincoln Park Zoo's master plan in the 1860s, and this is very much what it was like. So this is 19th century design inspiration that we have in front of us with the lagoons and everything from here. They do have. We have looks like there's a duck or a Canadian goose here. Let's try to. There we go. So there are flamingos in there. There's also some water swan geese and Chilean flamingos. Those are the 2 that they usually have in this area. I'm going to zoom back out. And we're going to step outside of the zoo enclosure here because I want to show you that really cool structure and this lagoon habitat outside of it that's recently gone through a transformation. Oh, Tracy, thanks for sharing that. So this nature boardwalk that I'm walking on right now, this is still part of the Lincoln Park Zoo's campus. It's just on the other side of that gated area. This boardwalk was added in 2010, and it was added by Studio Gang Architects. If you've been on my other tours, you know that I love talking about Studio Gang. That's Jeannie Gang's architecture firm. So they did a lot for adding this boardwalk, adding additional, did some restoration of the lagoons to have it really cater to a lot of the native plants, and it's brimming with birds, frogs, fish, turtles, insects, and other wildlife. I always love going through this area just to see how tranquil the space is that's immediately around us and seeing all the skyscrapers surrounding us. It's a really interesting contrast. this lagoon area, it's a fully functioning ecosystem. They've removed the invasive species, and they conduct annual floristic surveys, which allows the horticulture staff to optimize the plant diversity in the area. All right. Sometimes when I'm around here, there's a bunch of turtles. I'm looking around to see if I can spot any. I don't see any turtles right now, but we do have some of the ducks. And just take a look at this view. So beautiful. And then I've got one last space to show you all. But yeah, I mean, this is just an incredible shot. All right, let's head over here. And we're going to the structure that we see just in front of us.
Where are you going to find a duck at? No.
So this was also added in 2010 as part of the Studio Gang renovations. And this is called the Education Pavilion. Let's take a look at it head on. So the everything that you see here, it's made from prefabricated glulam wood, and it's sort of like forming ribs that you have around it, and then it has these fiberglass domes inside of it. I love this shot with the repeating structure. There's so many cool shots of this. Let's get a little bit closer. So you can see those fiberglass domes up above us. Such a beautiful rhythm and pattern that you have here. And we really lucked out that no one else is around us. Take a look at this. This is picture perfect. Oh, man, I love this. I'm so glad that no one else is around us. So this is called the Education Pavilion because they offer a lot. The park offers a lot of programs here where they. So you'll have a lot of schools coming here where they're doing efforts that's engaging with the ecosystem that you have in the zoo area, in the lagoons here. So they're doing different projects and exercises. So this provides some type of open space. They'll also sometimes do things like yoga in here that are more targeting adults. And then you get these incredible skyline views like what we have right here. I love this framing. Oh, so pretty. Yay. We really lucked out that no one else was around for us. Yeah, let's take another look up. Yeah, I just love looking at the pattern that you have of the wood along with the domes and then the architecture. So cool. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining me on my Lincoln Park Zoo tour. We had a beautiful day for it, so I hope that you enjoyed it. I'll stick around as long as you would like to answer whatever open questions you all may have. Let's see, a few things to close with. I've got a bunch more virtual tours planned for you all. And I've got another one today. So it starts in just around 2 hours. We're going to be at Navy Pier. So it's one of the most popular attractions in Illinois, and it's gone through 4 distinct lives. And I'll highlight the story of how it evolved over time, show some architectural artifacts that are associated with each of those, and then there's also some new public art there that I'm excited to be able to showcase that. So that's going to be happening in just about 2 hours. If you know anyone who missed this tour that you think that would like to see the Lincoln Park Zoo, I'm going to leave this up on Facebook for people to watch the recording for the next 24 hours. I'm still working on trying to put together my subscriber platform